I'm Amy Lei, a stock trainer at Homely Chart, which is a stock training school, and this is the first video of my new channel, Amy's Stock Analysis Daily, and I believe this is a very good beginning. The topic today is SGX Plunge. What's behind the first part? Okay, so there's no doubt that one of the shares that has been in spotlight recently is SGX, right? So why? Let's check the performance. Okay, so this is SGX chart, daily chart, and this candle is 27th May, right? So that's last Wednesday, right? So last Wednesday, SGX dropped sharply. It plunged, right? So this is why it has drawn so much attention. And if we check how much it has dropped, on that day, on that single day, last Wednesday, it dropped by 11% negative. And what's more, the following day, there is another more than 6% drop. So altogether in 2 days, the plunge has almost been roughly 20%, about to be 20%, right? So such a big drop, so obviously will catch a lot of attention, right? And then if we further investigate why such a sharp drop suddenly, all of a sudden, right? So then you might begin to dig up some news, right? Then if you really do that, dig up some news, you will see the reason, right? So this is Straits Times, okay? This news is from Straits Times and published last Wednesday. So firstly published 8 a.m. before the market open actually, and then also updated 3 p.m. Wednesday in the afternoon. So it says that SGX share price dropped most since 2003 on end of MSCI license. So you further check the news, it tell you that it dropped so sharply because SGX has lost its license to Hong Kong exchange from MSCI for derivative products, right? So then the question or the problem is, when we see the news, it's already late to take a behavior or take a reaction in a response, right? So that's a very big problem we want to solve. How can we know the danger in advance and avoid the big drop or the sudden big drop, right? So here I'm sharing with you one method. The method is related with an indicator called Multicolor Dragon. The abbreviation is MCD, right? So MCD, this indicator can help us check the potentiality of a stock. Whether this share got great potentiality or small one or no potentiality in future. MCD is a very powerful indicator to help you find out, okay? So let's go to the software, Homely software, to check. Okay, so I bring out the second window, okay? In the second window, we will be able to see this indicator called MCD. The full name is Multicolor Dragon. So for homely members, I believe you're very familiar with this indicator. We know that the red bars stand for the big boys and the yellow bars stand for the speculators. We also call them hot money for those investors who come in and out very frequently, maybe intraday, maybe in today, out tomorrow, for this kind of speculators represented by color yellow. And also the green bar. The green bar stands for the retailers, right? And then, so if we want to figure out the potentiality based on potentiality for SGX based on Multicolor Dragon, firstly, we need to know what kind of shares get great potentiality, right? For example, we all know AEM, right? So AEM, it has been very bullish recently, has been bullish for more than 1 month already, right? So why it can be so bullish? What are the features of AEM based on Multicolor Dragon? Okay, so here we see for Multicolor Dragon on the left side, we have some values, right? We have some values, and here, this value is 50%, right? So we see that for AEM, ever since this day, which is April 23rd, the red bar representing the big boys has reached 50%, and ever since that point, the red bar has remained stably above 50%, and for this case, actually, it's above 75%. It remains stably above 75%. What's the meaning behind that? Means the big boys take full control. So this kind of share usually has a great potentiality in future. And besides, when the red bar of Multicolor Dragon reach 50%, before that, the red bar increase gradually, very stable. The feature is very stable, okay? Of course, the bigger, the longer the red bar, the better, okay? So this is one feature shared by all shares with great potentiality, which is the big boys remain stably above 50% for a while. This is very important. Ever since the day we mentioned, 23rd April, until now, it has been, the red bars have been above 75 stably for more than 1 month. That's for a while. Okay, and then this is the first feature. The second feature is if we check even the bigger picture, we check the performance in the long run. Okay, we check the performance in the long run, we will realize that in the long history, for most of the time, for AEM, the big boys can reach 75%, right? It can reach 75%, and the more important thing is stably above 75%. Actually, if you check 50% level, it has remained above 50 for a very, very long time. And for this one, the reason it's so crazy is because it can even remain above 75% stably. For a bullish share, if it's stable above 50, it's bullish enough. If it's stable above 75 for a while, means extremely bullish. You see, this phenomenon happens in the long history for many times. What phenomenon? Big boys above 50 or 75 stably for a while, for a long time. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and 6 times, right? So this is the second feature. The second feature is based on the first feature, right? So let me repeat again. The first feature shared by all shares with great potentiality in future is the big boys of Multicolor Dragon can remain stably above 50% for a while. The second feature is such kind of phenomenon can repeat or occur frequently in the long run. Okay, so these are the two features shared by all shares with great potentiality in future. Then, in comparison, if we further check the performance of SGX S68, right? So, we check the recent performance, let's say. The recent performance is when we see the big boys, a reach 50 is not stable. You see, a reach 50 then drop. Reach 50 for 1, 2, 3, 5. Only 5 days above 50, then drop below again. Then here, roughly remain around 50 for 1 week or so, maybe 2 weeks, right? But the feature is it cannot remain stably above 50%. Okay, this is we check the recent performance, and then if we continue to check the performance in the long run, what do we see? If we check the very long time history, the feature of SGX is every time the big boys, this is 50, right? Every time the big boys reach 50, it would drop sharply and quickly. And the big boys would disappear in a very short time. See, this time, and then the second time, reach 50, then drop sharply. Then reach 50, drop sharply. Reach 50, drop sharply. Reach 50, this time didn't reach. Reach 50, and this time even reach 75. But it's not, it doesn't matter whether or not it can reach 55. What matters is whether or not the big boys are stable. If they can be stable above 75, means extremely bullish. If they can be stable above 50 for a while, also means bullish. But the problem with SGX simply is it cannot do that. It cannot remain above 50 stably for a while. Once the big boys reach 50, would drop sharply, quickly below, and even sometimes disappear. So this is a very violent contrast compared with SGX, right? So this explains why SGX the performance is so volatile. So such kind of volatile share, tricky to trade, right? So then what we can do is when we realize that this share, the potentiality is just a small one, small potentiality, it's not very big potentiality, then what we can do is we trade for a shorter time, right? And then every time, because we already got the regularity here, every time the big boys reach 50, and it would drop sharply and quickly. So means every time we see such a phenomenon, big boys already reached or even more than 50, we need to be cautious. That this is already the end of a rally and the beginning of another forceful drop, right? And then apart from the performance of big boys, we also can see that for most of the times, for SGX, the yellow color standing for the speculators, right? They predominate for most of the times. And this also can explains why the price is so volatile. So if you check the performance for a share, the yellow color of Multicolor Dragon predominate for most of the times. You will know that this kind of share, usually the price quite volatile. Okay, and then after we take the alert signal that price, the Multicolor Dragon red bar already reached 50 and might be very likely that the price will give us a forceful drop. Then the next question is, when do we begin to sell, right? When do we begin to sell? We need a obvious signal, a concrete signal to sell, to escape the sharp drops, right? The sharp drops, sharp and forceful drops. So how to do it? So in the Homeless software, I have set a signal called timing expert. Okay, so this is timing expert. Okay, so I click OK. Then you will be able to see some yellow color, right? So every time you check, every time when the big boys based on Multicolor Dragon reached 50, and we will see the yellow color of the yellow candle also appear, right? So when you take the alert that big boys already reached 50, so alert signal for shares like SGX, right? And then you check when the yellow bar disappear, change to normal candlestick color. So you see the yellow color disappear, right, for the candlestick. So that's our sell point. That's our sell point. You can see if you combine the performance of Multicolor Dragon, check the 50% level with the yellow bars, the yellow candles, which is called the timing expert. It's a very good signal to help us do some top escape. Then you see every time the yellow bar change to a normal candle, normal color of a candle, that's almost the top, see? And then this time, see, the yellow color disappear. You can sell here. Or this time the yellow colors disappear. You have 4 days. You have 4 days to escape. Have 4 days to escape. As long as you take the alert signal and you take the sell signal here, you can perfectly avoid the sharp 2 days drop. Okay. And then how about this one? Here we also see 2 yellow bar, but if you check the performance of Multicolor Dragon, the big boys haven't yet reached 50, right? So the conditions to sell is, firstly, the big boys reach 50 already. Then the yellow bar, the yellow candlestick disappear. So you sell. Almost every time you sell at the beginning of a correction. You sell at the beginning of the correction. This time, no need, right? Didn't reach 50. This time, reach 50. This time, reach 50. Then, yellow color disappear, sell. This time, actually this is, you see after you sell here, the price touch the previous high again, unable to break up, then begin to drop. You also need to sell, right? Because this is the resistance at the previous high, unable to break up, and also you sell, okay? And this time also you can sell, okay? And this time sell, and this time sell. Okay, so let me make a summary here. Okay, so just now I have shared with you how we can check the potentiality of a stock by checking the performance of a Multicolor Dragon, MCD, right? For fundamental analysis, we can check the intrinsic value to see whether a share got great potentiality or not. Then, how about if we check based on TA? Multicolor Dragon also can do the job. And once you get a potentiality, you realize how big the potentiality is. You can take effective measures accordingly. And for such stocks as SGX, okay, the combination of Multicolor Dragon and timing expert. Sorry, wrong spelling. This is timing. Timing expert. Can be a very good strategy. And also, in the end, if you have for Homely members, right? Since you already got our Homely software, I recommend that you can make a comparison between the performance of SGX and DBS based on Multicolor Dragon. You will find something very interesting. Okay? Okay, and in the end, my second video of this channel comes at 3 p.m. 3rd June 2020, means this coming Wednesday, right? Because tomorrow I'm off, so I'm on leave tomorrow, so I will not be able to update the video, the second video, okay? And the topic for Wednesday will be SGX Plunge, what's behind, part 2. Today I share with you the first method. How can we avoid the sudden sharp drop of SGX, right? And this is the first reason I shared with you. We check the Multicolor Dragon, okay? And we combine with the timing expert. So the second session, Wednesday, I will share with you a second reason or another angle. How can we avoid the sharp drop, and how do we trade such shares, such volatile shares as SGX? Okay, so if you are interested in this channel, you can subscribe, right? You can subscribe this channel. And also, if you have some questions about the contents I'm sharing with you, also welcome to contact me either by WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp. And also by email, okay? So see you Wednesday. That's all for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.